Light, Class 7th, Chapter 15, First Part. Light. We know about light. It is a form of energy and it helps us to see the world. In this chapter, we will study about rectilinear propagation of light, reflection of light, refraction of light, spherical mirror and lenses, and the dispersion of light. So these are the topics which we discuss in this chapter. Children, every morning when we wake up and open our eyes, we see the colorful world all around us. And we are able to see because of our eyes and the light. Light make the things visible. In class 6th, you have studied about the luminous object. Children, I think you remember that these are those objects which give out light on their own. And these may be natural objects like the sun or jugnu, firefly, or man-made objects like the electric bulb, torchlight, and candle. Children, in class 6th, you have also studied about the one main property of light, and that is light travels in a straight line. Light travels from the object, and what are the things that stop light from traveling, and what things it can shine through. Children, I think this you also have studied in class 6. The things which stop light, so they are the opaque object. Opaque objects don't allow light to pass through them, and light can pass through the transparent object completely. And again we are studying about light. So to answer these, let us study some interesting aspects of light. Light enables us to see things but is itself not visible. And that is the reason astronauts in space see only darkness. So there is light of the sun streaming all around, but they are not able to see light because for light to being visible, there must be scattering of light. In the earth atmosphere, scattering of light take place, but in the space, scattering of light not take place. So about light, we can say that light is a form of energy which causes the sensation of vision when it reaches our eyes. When sunlight or light from other sources falls on a surface or an object, it bounces back to our eyes, and this enables us to see the objects around us. When light by any means does not reach our eyes from an object, it cannot be seen by us. We can see an object only when the reflected light or bouncing back light reaches our eyes. Ray and beam of light. A very narrow stream of light energy showing the direction of path taken by light is called a ray. Children, you are seeing in the pic a beam of light. Beam of light means when many light rays they are coming together. In diagram below, rays are represented with arrows on them. A beam is a stream of light energy which is broader and represented by a number of rays. A beam of light can be parallel, converging or diverging. Children, you are seeing in the figure. Converging beam means they are collecting at some point. Diverging beam means they are diverting away, moving away from some point. Before proceeding further, let us make a quick revision of some important terms. These are luminosity. Luminosity means it is the property of emitting light. Such objects are called luminous. The sun, light bulb, These are luminous object. Opacity. It is the property of an object due to which it does not allow light to pass through it. Such objects are called opaque. For example, wood. Translucency. The property of permitting the passage of light in such a way that an object cannot be seen clearly through it, and such objects are called translucent. Example, frosted glass. Transparency, the property of permitting the passage of light in such a way that an object can be clearly seen through the substance, and such objects are called transparent. For example, clear glass. Through clear glass we can see clearly. Non-luminous object. These are objects which don't emit light on their own. For example, reflector in a lamp, the moon, wood, these all are non-luminous objects. Rectilinear propagation of light. Rectilinear propagation of light means light travels in a straight line. If something blocks its path, it can only illuminate the part which is facing it. Now, by the activity, we understand this. Activity 1. Aim to show that light travels along a straight line. For this activity, materials required: 4 cardboard squares with hole through its center, table and torch. Now procedure: mount cardboard upright on a table in front of a lighted torch so that light is aimed at the hole of the first square. Set up the cardboard by threading a string through them and pulling it out. Kneel or sit down so that your eyes are at level with the hole of the square DCBA. Now observation. Your eyes sees the light through the 4 holes. Now move one of the square so that the holes are no longer lined up. Now when they are no longer lined up, then what happens? The eyes can no longer see the light because light travels in a straight line. So it cannot pass through the hole if the path of the light is cut off. Children, you may recall a very similar activity performed in class 6 with a straight and a bent rubber tube by seeing these pick. When we see through the straight pipe, we are able to see the lighted bulb. But when we are seeing through the bent pipe, we are not able to see the lighted bulb. That is because light always travels in a straight line. From this activity, we can conclude light travels in a straight line. Reflection of light. What does an object do to the light that falls on it? It may allow the light to pass through as a glass sheet does figure A, or it may completely cut off the light by absorbing the light as in case of opaque object like wood. You can see figure B. A third type of surface like a polished mirror bounces back the light into the medium from where it comes. You can see this in figure C. Now children, you are seeing figure 15.3. Light passes through glass absorbed by unpolished wood and reflected by mirror. When light falls on a surface, light bounces off the surface. This bouncing back of light from the surface is called reflection of light. When light falls on a smooth or polished surface, the surface reflects the light in a well-defined manner, and this is called regular reflection. Regular reflection takes place on a mirror. On the other hand, when light falls on a rough or uneven surface, it gets reflected and scattered in all directions. This is called diffuse or irregular reflection. Diffuse reflection does not give rise to image formation. Diffuse reflection can take place on a wall, a wooden almirah, or other surfaces. Children, you are seeing pic of regular reflection and diffuse reflection. Regular reflection take place from the smooth surface. Diffuse reflection take place from the uneven surface. In regular reflection, the reflected light ray goes in the straight direction, in the same direction. But in diffuse reflection, the reflected rays goes in all directions. Activity 2. To show that smooth and polished surface produces image when light falls on it. For this activity, materials required: polished top of a table near the wall, torchlight and a dark room. Procedure: put off the light at night and direct the torchlight at an angle on the dining table, which has a smooth and polished surface. Now adjust its position so that light striking the table changes its direction and appears as a spot of light on the wall at the other end of the room. Observation: when you move the torch to different location on the table, the spot of light on the wall also moves. From this activity, we conclude the image of the torchlight is formed after reflection from a polished surface if it is directed in a particular direction.